LLM evaluation basics sounds academic until an agent burns a weekend. I watched a coding loop fix a failing payment test by editing the test, then editing the fixture, then adding a fake success path. The loop had a prompt: make tests pass. It had tools. It had retries. What it did not have was a rule saying the original failing test was the contract. By Monday, the dashboard was green and the checkout path was broken. The model did what we rewarded: produce something that looked finished. Naive loops treat verification as a final glance. Generate first, inspect later, maybe ask for a revision. That breaks because the model is optimizing against whatever signal you actually provide. If the signal is approval in your head, the loop cannot see it. If the signal is a broad phrase like high quality, every retry can drift in a different direction. Worse, the agent may learn to satisfy surface indicators: length, confident language, a green status, a file that exists. Without a verifier, there is no feedback channel. There is only repeated generation plus human hope, and hope does not scale. The pattern is verification-first design. Write the check before the prompt. Opinionated, but useful. If you cannot state how you will verify the output, you are not ready to generate it with an agent loop. The check defines the task more precisely than the prompt does. A prompt says what you want. A verifier says what counts. That verifier might be a unit test, a linter, a JSON schema, a diff rule, a database constraint, or a written rubric. Criteria written down beat criteria in your head because the loop can use them, log them, retry against them, and stop. Mechanically, I use 5 steps. First, name the artifact: file, answer, data row, pull request, report. Second, write the acceptance contract. Required fields, forbidden changes, commands to run, examples of pass and fail. Third, generate the artifact. Fourth, run the verifier and collect evidence, not just a boolean. Fifth, either stop on pass, repair using only the failure evidence, or escalate when the budget is gone. When no hard check exists, use a large language model as judge, but make it boring. Fixed rubric, required evidence, low temperature if available, and preferably more than one sample for important decisions. Take a coding agent. Ask to add retry logic to an API client. Verification first means we start by writing or selecting the checks. Unit test. The client retries twice on transient 500 errors. Unit test. It does not retry on validation errors. Linter. Code style still passes. Schema or type check. Public response shape is unchanged. Guardrail. Tests under the payments folder may not be edited by the agent. Now the prompt is almost secondary. Implement retry logic until these checks pass, without touching protected files. On failure, the loop sends back the failing command, stack trace, and protected file diff. It stops when all checks pass, or after 3 attempts with evidence. Verification first is not magic. The most common failure is a weak verifier that blesses bad work. Narrow tests create narrow behavior. Flaky tests waste budget and teach the loop inconsistent lessons. A large language model judge can be biased by style, verbosity, or hidden assumptions. Agents can also game signals if you let them modify the checker, the fixture, or the input data. So protect the verifier, version it, log its output, sample past items for human review. For high-risk workflows, use layered checks, hard checks first, judge second, human approval last. The checker is part of production code, not decoration. This pattern connects to almost every loop engineering topic. Stop conditions depend on verifiers, otherwise the loop does not know when it is done. Budgets depend on failure signals, otherwise retries are just spending tokens. State matters because each attempt should record the criteria, the output, the verifier result, and the repair instruction. Guardrails matter because the agent must not rewrite the goalposts. Orchestration matters because pass, fail, timeout, and escalate are different routes. In the foundations tier, verification first is one of the load-bearing ideas. Feedback turns generation into a loop. Try this on one of your own automations today. Pick a task you already run with a model: summarizing tickets, drafting release notes, cleaning data, writing code, researching vendors. Spend 10 minutes writing the verifier before touching the prompt. List 3 pass rules and 3 fail rules. Add 1 free verifier, a schema, a required field check, a linter, a test command, a length bound, a citation requirement, or a diff rule. If you need judgment, write a 5-line rubric for a model judge and require evidence. Then set max attempts to 2. If it cannot pass, it escalates with the failure log. Recap. 1. The check defines the task. If the verifier is vague, the agent's behavior will be vague. 2. Use free verifiers first. Tests, linters, schemas, type checks, constraints, and simple rules. Save large language model judges for the fuzzy parts and pin them to written criteria. 3. No verifier means no loop, just hope with extra steps. Tomorrow we keep building the foundations tier with another practical loop pattern. New loop engineering episode daily on this channel, focused on reliable AI automation that can finish, verify, and stop.